break right into a counterclockwise orbit. So I'll draw on map.
Good copy. Break after LCIs in a counterclockwise orbit to the right.
Confirm. Break right, then left and counterclockwise. I think for this rep, let's stay together and just see if we can maintain speed and distance for the Blackhawks. Have good deconfliction break. On the second rep, I'll have one of us go out to do outer cordon, to do like a 700 meter orbit, while one of us does a 300 meter orbit, and we'll see if that's better for us.
Physics will go.
One spooling.
RPMs.
RPMs. Copy, one ready. Hope Tower, Thunder 2-1, load over to flight of 2, Blackhawk flight of 2, total flight of 4, break. Taking off 160 Seoul ramp for one way, for taxiway runway 15 out southeast for IP2. IP2, Hope traffic. One lifting. Entering active. One right turn, gonna hold 20 knots until flight.
You have flight.
Copy flight, rolling through 70, slight right turn for bearing. Lead at 70 knots, bearing 187. Flight bearing correction 188. Flight 21, slight right turn, final bearing 200. Flight left, or major left turn for flight line, starting now. Flight bearing 100. They're on flight 21, clear for break for LC false alpha. As flight continuing flight path northeast. As left turn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continuing. Off offset Alpha.
As flight 30 Sierra.
Cheers, bud.
As breaking for orbit, gonna fix you.
Jack 2's inbound.
Copy, LZ ice this time.
Roger, ice. Sierra. Chalk 2's on that.
2 clear to lift. Let's reset back to the south. I'll fix up 2-2 and we'll try this one again.
Okay, lifting 180.
Ready, go ahead and regroup with 6 and 9 back at the IP. I'm gonna reset and then we will get 2-2 back over here.
Okay, went for the IP.
Six is 1, let's go ahead and get down this valley here. We'll stop at the end of it.
Physics.
One D-Sil committing a felony.
He's back to base. Not flight line, back to the original base. He's ready to engage.
Broke it.
Alright, 2-2 reports he's back at the spawn point.
Just go ahead and turn the rotors off. You can keep the APU on.
On where? Oh, there you are. Alright, sick.
Hey, look at the camera. It's looking at us.
Camera. Alright, cool. Yeah, I think Al said it best. Tied to the crash, that rep went pretty good. I think, Alex, we should one, do a wider orbit. That was kind of on me. I think we should be probably about 500 meters instead of 300. 300 at 70 knots is just not fast, or not much enough reaction time to be able to turn in on the target and shoot a precision rocket or gun run if we need to. I think I do also like the idea of adding one of the birds be an outer cordon. So one bird do a 500-meter inner orbit, and one bird do a 1,000-meter outer orbit. And then once the Blackhawks land and then pick back up with no chalks back towards friendly lines, we can, get back together at whatever altitude, or sorry, whatever distance to target that we prefer. I think I do like that idea. So let's try that for this rep. I'll do inner cordon if you want to do outer cordon, since you can just break off and head out to the outer orbit there.
Yeah, for that as well, I just want to point out that it's a good idea because when we're then close to the objective, the camera is conflicted because it only has like 180
right.
degrees, and I could see
160.
half the objective on the flare pod. So if you
Okay.
push that out, I can see much better.
Right.
And also for this like delayed sort of like phase 1 and phase 2 where we have like the gunbirds push ahead like 30-0. Just remember to give a heads up to like the DFC or King, wherever it is. Since last Saturday, he emphasized, I'm not sure if it was on that specific, which I'm pretty sure, on that specific like iterations we did, but he emphasized on like close formation, how we talked about then. But I'm not sure if that applies here. Just heads up.
Boy, that just chafes my butt.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean from lifting fires to wheels down?
I mean, well, yeah, what King said was like he wants the gunbirds and the liftbirds to be more attached, so they like
Okay.
basically sit down
I-
as we're firing.
I mean, that may look cool, but tactically, that gives you no chance to do anything. It most likely, any return fire from the guns is revenge.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'm not a fan of that either. So I think if I had to have a conversation with him about it, I'll convince him to do it our way. It's been our SOP for a long time to have the gunbirds push ahead. If he's only just hearing about it, then that's on him. So
Yep.
that's,
Yeah. No, I'm just.
Yeah.
No, I know. That's a good suggestion because that's what King said. So I appreciate you bringing it up. Yeah.
But
I just have this burning desire to go, and you guys need to stack on the other side of the wall with the one you normally do because it looks cooler, And,
Yeah.
and they're going
It
to tell
looks
me
cooler for YouTube. Yeah. For us.
Yeah.
they're going
on
to
the
tell me
flare.
to look. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. We
Well,
need better YouTube shots for y'all.
I thought we met his requirement in terms of the guns going cold to wheels on deck. He wanted to minimize that so that the element of surprise was intact. In other words, as soon as the gunships were off, he's got his boots on the ground to do what he needs to do.
I mean,
don't
if he
know
wants that, it's going to have to be a stealth insertion. They're going to have to walk up to the compound, and then we're going to have to do a gun run. I mean, that's the only way that we can get that.
yeah. I mean,
So,
I don't know how well, the new sim is going to work with that because you can hear the Hawks a long way away. So there is no surprise. The bad guys are going to know, helicopters. I wonder why they're here.
yeah,
But at
prepping
least our
Eagles.
heads are down with the gunship. And you already telegraphed your move anyway. You're already firing on the objective.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
Anyway.
think in this case, let's practice what we
Yeah,
can
practice the
simulate.
SOP. Yep.
Yeah, let's practice the SOP. And hey, you know what? If
We'll
we
flex.
have to change SOP, then we've gained knowledge. So I'm cool with that. Okay, let's try this again.
IP.
Less crashing and more disengage or
No, I got.
Were you looking
I
at the
was
map
looking
or
at my
something?
map. I was looking at the map.
yeah.
And I put the back of the helicopter through a tree.
That'll happen. All right. Well, I think you took out that tree, so you're not going to do that again. All right.
Not just getting his exercise in.
Yeah, dude, this
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
APU is
I'm gonna use the
fucking giving me a
MFD.
headache.
If I crash, that's the reason.
All right, go back.
Okay.
All right, cool. See you on the air.
I'm still chalk 2 on this one, Al, for the repeat.
New one's gonna lift and head for the IP start. Lift and get up with me whenever you're ready.
Roger, we'll rally at the IP.
My eyes! My eyes!
New one, hover hold.
Carol 2 set.
We get the taxi fixed, Frank, or is that still broke?
No, I got mine up on the lower left-hand corner.
I got what you said. Gotcha. All right, Chiron 1 is ready.
After you.
To this is 2-6, be advised, we're holding an IP direct to your 12 o'clock.
Closing now.
Once, go ahead and start flying. You guys catch up. One hold 50 until flight.
Flight.
Flight 70 patrol.
I'm going to NOE it down this here, so hopefully the Hawks won't be as loud.
Sliding trail.
Air on flight, clear to brake for LZ false alpha. left, NOE.
False Alpha en route.
Copy, task flight 30 Sierra.
Guess I should go for the right one, huh, Frank?
Chalk 2's on the right.
Flight break for orbit.
Pass 26, moving to outer cordon.
I'll take whichever one you don't take.
Roger, Frank.
Ground flight, LZ ice.
Copy. LZ Ice 30 Sierra. On deck.
On deck.
Lifting out to the north. Direction northwest. Would have been better if I hadn't tried to go to the wrong LZ.
You're on flight 21, regroup at LZ2 IP, original position. Task flight, stay in formation.
Business copies. Fixing trail with you one.
Copy 6, that was nice, but next time come from the outside of the circle. Don't cross through the inner circle.
Good copy, be advised, I thought you were going to the IP.
Acknowledged. Copy, that's on me. I must have said something wrong. Let's go, all go back to the IP, let's reset and do this one more time.
Business.
Frank, I'm gonna bounce out to the right so you can pass on the left. Drop to the right, okay? Till we get there.
flight 21 on IP. You're going to make a left-hand turn 180 degrees, face back on flight direction. We'll swap the chocks and then we'll do another rep.
Rock copies.
Beginning left-hand 180 degree turn. Flight 1, once back on flight line, going to hold 30 knots, make necessary adjustments, then we'll continue to flight speed. Right turn for path.
2-3, I'm going to hold to the left so you can pass me.
Roger.
21 decel 30 knots. Six 2-1, pass when able.
Confirm passing on your right side.
On 2-7.
Copy, Karen, call flight when able.
Yeah, 6-0.
Flight.
Copy, bumping her up, control speed 7-0. Current flight clear to break off for LC false.
Alright, Karen, flight's breaking.
Pass, maintaining heading, and flight plan for 2.
Slide.
S21 stopping to 5 o'clock close.
Good copy, 5 o'clock close, gonna put down low, NOE, holding 7-0. Left turn, touchdown.
Alright, Karen's on the go.
Copy, task line 30-0 from objective. Six pushing up 8-0. Moving to inner cordon.
One break grab.
LC appears ice. LC appears ice.
Only 80 knots.
2-5.
Seconds, left turn coming up. Shock lead on deck.
On deck.
Yeah, it was good.
Copy, Karen Chalk's cleared out. The test flight 26 will leave you deck lead. We're going to do that same rep again with same chalk formation.
Roger, Charon is out. 346. And she won't head back to the IP.
Okay, firm back to IP. 26 will take over on the formation lead.
Roger.
Six holding 80, correction, 70 knots, holding for break. It's going to be bearing break. Bearing 250 at 70 knots.
Okay, I'm holding 70. We'll meet you there.
Good copy. I recommend pushing down to 50, let us pass, we're on your left side, and then you guys can look around and follow us in for formation.
Okay, we'll go slow in 50.
Alright, one will speed up here. We'll go 90, so we'll get ahead of it.
Visual.
Sharon flight clear to speed up. 26 gonna slow down back to 70.
Okay, Karen's gonna latch on.
This is making a slight right hand turn for a 180 degree at IP, holding 70.
Roger, saddle 7.
Roger.
26 commencing left turn, 180 times now. Six on course, maintaining 70, going to go NOE on the initial bit.
Roger, trail.
Roger.
Try and fly your fifth breakout for LC Falls. Fast flight is going to commence and continue on that course.
Caron lead will go. Caron lead's breaking off for Falls Alpha.
Making left turn, NOE.
Caron's on the go.
Fast flight is 30 C around from altitude 2.
That's 2-1, breaking right for cordon.
Good copy.
Caron lead's holding 70 knots.
LC, first cold.
Roger, LG cold. Caron is 30 seconds. On deck. That's a good show.
Alright, try and fly your clear to exfil and link up with the test flight.
Roger, visual. 340 to intercept.
Hey, 6 months are regrouped, you're clear, take us RTB.
Physics. Physics increasing to 80 knots.
Caron flight test 2-1, passing on the right. Good for 2-1, passing on the right.
Visual.
Physics holding 80 knots at 338 bearing.
Ground 2, saddle 5.
changing heading to 350. Making a slight left turn to line up with the runway. Oak Tower, this is standard 26, flight of 2 Teslas, flight of 2 Karens. It's going to be a total flight of 4 inbound from the south. Going for runway 33 and we'll touch down at Shortcut. Detailing 60. Make a direct turn for the pads and we'll bypass the taxi. Continuing detail down to Fortune. Current flight, you're clear to break off to the left for your pass.
Go.
Two 6 is taking 12 helipad. On decks,